This is where everything starts to show up. How she handles fear. What happens at the end of this day is where everything changed for her. Get her going at a trot. Tug on her pretty quick. There it is. I make sure I'm not pushing her from behind, so her decision to stop is genuine. She just needs to run it out. As long as she's reacting, that pressure stays on. The moment all 4 feet stop, I count 4 seconds and release. If you like this approach, I've put links below to more resources, including the full series and free guides on the concepts that we use. Got to be at least a trot, pull on her. So I like that. She didn't kick up. She had a little bit of a rush, so I'm going to hold on to that one right now until she stops. I'm not going to go back any further. See how she's getting way more relaxed. Again, I got my beam way behind her. You can hear her rhythm now. They start finding that same spot. They start stopping in the same spot. And let her go. Letting her rest right now is a real important part of the release. Now is where you really have to start thinking like a horse. You can find resistance in every lesson. A lot of people say, I've done all the lessons, but my horse is still resistant over here. What they missed was the resistance in the earlier lesson. If it's in lesson 1, it'll be in every lesson after that. You're just not seeing it. Most of the time, you're adding too much pressure, and that hides the resistance.
I really I'm starting to see that the lighter the pressure, the more you can see the resistance.
I'm moving this rope back inch by inch. You're just seeing it in 3 spots: girth, midsection, and flank. But I checked every inch in between, and her rhythm doesn't change, and there's no reaction. And that first time I can go all the way through there and not find a rush, a kick, or a buck, that's when I quit. That's the last time I send her, and that's the end of that lesson. Okay, we're back. So I got my flag hiding right here. She don't see it, and it's a different flag than she's seen. I like to hold my rope in a way that I'm half and half, so I can grab the flag here, but I got 2 hands on the rope, and if I need to, I can go to 2 hands. What I'm really going to try to be aware of, if I blow her out of there, how close I am with that flag to her is going to dictate how much I can hold her here. I scare her just enough to have her try to challenge this line, and I got to be ready to win that pull when she hits this line. So it's going to be out of the blue and startle the crap out of her. See my hand? She stayed right on the edge of my hand. Now I can slowly progress towards her, but watch my right hand. See that slack in the line? Right there, she stays on that edge without pulling through the line. That's the difference. I'm not trying to stop her from being afraid. I'm teaching her how to handle it. As long as she stays there, off the contact, and doesn't challenge that line, I can start to build on that. You'll see the slack show up in the rope, and that tells me she's not trying to leave anymore. Now I can progress this without losing her. I love how she is on this hand right here.
That is a huge difference.
Right?
Huge
I mean,
difference.
that is the difference.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm just going to rattle it up there and touch her a little more of this. Hold for 4 seconds. Take it away, wait for it to chew. Girl. Well, I think I talked about on video 1, the genuine fear will show up when she moves her feet less and less each time.
Right.
When it's not genuine, she'll get to a point where she starts moving longer each time. That's how you can tell there's a sniff of genuine fear in there, and I'll show you how I start pushing through that.
Yeah. That looked like genuine fear to me.
The end of this pattern is the first time she don't move a foot. That's when I switch sides and repeat. Now here's how you're going to tell what's really going on. When it's genuine fear, they'll move less each time. 4 feet, then 3, then 2, then 1, until they don't move at all. But when they start to understand, sometimes they'll actually go back the other way, and that's how you know it's not genuine fear. They'll move more again. That's when I change the lesson and start moving their feet with the taps of the flag. I'm still creating the pressure, but now I'm adding movement for motivation, because those patterns tell me exactly what they're thinking. This exercise has to be a conditioned response, right? So right now I'm doing the hardest part.
Yeah.
Your deal will just be to station different flags in different areas and go through it. And you're going to get her to stop. She shouldn't play that game where she's moving her feet like she is now. If I get her through that, especially in our time frame we got.
Yeah, a few more weeks of this.
But it'll just be startling her. There we go. So this side, and they usually don't transfer sides. Like just because she's good on one side don't mean she'll be good on this other side. There we go. There we go. There we go. Did she try to win that pull? See how I'm able to spin those hips around? Like, on day one, I couldn't do that. I really had to pull to get her. I never got her soft. And then look, as soon as she learns she can't outpull me, now she stops. That's what it's about. It's about control. What I found here was this wasn't just about fear. She was trying to pull through that line, and the moment she did, I had to win that pull. By disengaging her hips, I was able to take that away from her. And that's when everything changed. She stopped trying to leave and started accepting the flag. That's how I knew the resistance was really about control. And that's when she doesn't move a foot. So I do both sides, and she got this side real quick where she didn't move a foot. Then I go over top of her head, and this is where I address them ears. So I go in front of her eyes, keep progressing till I'm over top her head, behind her head, and then I just let it set down on her ears. Now I can bring that pressure right up to her head, and she stays with me. But this still isn't the end of it, because if she thinks she can pull through that line, she can still leave. So now we take it one step further. Okay, guys, so now I'm going to work on just teaching her how to handle restraint pressure when she's under a little bit of pressure. So I'm just going to start sending her. I'm going to go pretty soft to start with. There, as soon as I see she hits it, I'm going to send her the other way.
Oh, wow.
And then hit her again this way. Right here, she starts hitting that line harder. I'm not letting her win that pull. As I increase her speed, she stops hitting it. That's the change. That's the answer. What I'm looking for is that she don't hit the end of that rope anymore. And I have to be in the right spot at the right time so she don't hit it and hang back. She's not going to harm herself by hitting it going forward. It's going to be when she hangs back on it. So you could see the first time she felt that pull, she hit it, and then she really hit it the other way.
She really hit it.
And then I couldn't really get her to hit it that hard going that way. Now that I've got that on her, I can do that flag and have way more success. Well, now I'm just going to start real soft again, and I'm going to speed up when she hits the end of it. So just watch real close. See how she rushed off that way? That's the eye she always rushes off with. But she stays right in the range, and that's what I'm looking for. If something scared her and I was on her back in a halter, I want to reach down and pull on that halter shank just like this feels to her, right? So I can pick up on her soft. She's going to spin around. There we go. There we go. So I have to put a little heat on her. Like if I just go too soft and slow, I'm not getting the resistance that's deep down in there.
Yeah.
And I can't go, so aggressive that I'm running out of pressure either.
Yeah.
I won't be able to send her anymore.
Yeah.
It's just really soft, really slow, bite-sized pieces.
But that's what she does when she bolts. I mean, she just goes.
Yeah. Now you can watch the slack in that rope now. See, she feels that rope coming tight. And she turns, like you could hold that rope with 2 fingers now.
She's a bolter and a bucker.
There we go.
But
even when
she's
I
not doing
spooked
that,
her and
she's
jumped
free as
at her a little
anything.
bit, she's still respecting the boundary of that line. And I find that you can make them soft all you want in a perfect environment here. Looks really good until you go out and it's out there where nobody sees it, and it's the environment changes and it gets electric. And it's this kind of stuff, like I said, it's give me the data that I need, because when I go out there and check them, I try to bait them into situations where they should have exploded, right? A big lightning crack or a big, snow slides off the roof and they just freeze. Or if they do kind of scoot, I just take the slack out of the rein, boy, they yield to it. That being said, if somebody just hangs on her, right? If I panic and she runs and I pull with everything I got and she takes me 5 feet, it's all over again. We got to come back and do it again. You might not have to go all the way to this, but you got to do a bunch more sending her and winning.
Yeah.
Because they never forget that one time. So I always see she's really soft there. I always like to finish every lesson with that acceptance. Like I get that down there. She turns and keeps that rope. There's always a bubble in that rope. See, when she turns, that rope never gets straight. And there's the melt I always want to quit on. Now it's time to put her to the test. I'm riding her on a loose rein and presenting fear out of the blue. The question is, does she still follow a feel? My seat for speed, my reins for direction, even when something startles her. Every lesson gave her a choice, and under pressure, those choices start to show up. The results speak for themselves. If you like this approach, I've put links below to more resources, including the full series and free guides on the concepts that we use.